Welcome to Batcast 66. It's the podcast where every week, every other week, every other month, who knows at this point, we watch an episode of the 1966 Batman TV show and talk about it. Today we are talking about Batman Season 2, Episode 10, simply titled Ma Parker. So yeah, I don't know if this is the first one that doesn't rhyme, but I think it's the first one that doesn't even make an effort to rhyme.
Yeah, some of them you could have said were like a slant line or slant rhyme or something, but yeah, just no effort. Unless it's all supposed to be like the greatest mother of them all, like kind of like colon Ma Parker. It's like all supposed to be one sentence is all I can think of. But
Maybe.
it's still kind of lame because that is fun. I like that when they
Yeah,
rhyme.
it kind of stinks. I'm not. All right. Well, yeah, when last we left the dynamic duo, they had just put the last of the Parker family behind bars at Gotham Penitentiary. Um, I guess a thought I had about that.
Hmm.
Like these criminals, I almost feel like the nature of their crimes, like going all over the country, I feel like they'd be in a federal prison.
Yeah, definitely.
But anyway, here they are in Gotham.
I mean, to be fair, we don't see like a trial or anything, so maybe they're just there for holding.
Maybe. Do you go into holding at the penitentiary though?
No, you don't, but they're because they are like a federal criminal. I don't think they'd go to just a regular jail.
Yeah, but like Warden Crichton seems to it seems like a permanent thing.
It did. Yeah, he had like labels and stuff on their cells and everything.
Yeah. So uh also, Batman and Robin are heading back to the Batcave with a stick of dynamite in the engine set to go off when it hits. Excuse me. When it hits 60 miles an hour.
Yeah. And
So,
yeah, Robin's like, "Oh, Batman, I'm hungry. Can't we go faster?" And he's like, "Well, the speed limit's 55 miles an hour." So and I was like, "Oh, yeah, speed limits do save lives."
yeah. So, all right, let's get into this.
Yeah.
This is the lamest cliffhanger by far
Yeah,
because
my
I
note
kind
wrote my notes I wrote this is quite possibly the least effective death trap.
yeah, because Batman will never speed,
Yeah.
which I mean,
He might have if he was in the pursuit of somebody.
yes. And I think we're supposed to have the illusion that he's speeding in the stock footage.
Yeah, they speed it up, I think.
Yeah. But I don't know.
I mean, I don't think I know because in doing my research for this, the actual Batmobile that they built couldn't go over 40 miles an hour. In order to make it look like it's going fast, they have to speed up the footage of it driving.
Oh, I wasn't saying I don't know to that. I
Yeah,
just feel like knowing what we know about this version of the character, I feel
yeah,
like I question the canonicity, canicity. How do you say that word? I don't know. I question, whether or not that's canon because it has him driving all crazy, going in and out of the lines, and it's just like
yeah.
he would never drive like that.
Well, yeah, while they're discussing speeding or whatever, they're like, no laws, respectable person would do that. They're like, hey, wait, that guy says Warden Crichton goes 70. He wouldn't do that. Why do they want us to go fast?
Yeah, so they quickly put together that trustee might not have been as trustworthy as the word on the back of his
More, more
shirt.
like, more like distrusty. Am I right?
Yeah, yeah, you're right about that. So yeah, Batman stops the car and disables the bomb and tosses it away. And
He
then it
throws
just
it. Yeah, he
explodes.
throws it into the woods and it just explodes. Did he throw it so fast it went 60 miles an hour? Does Batman have a cannon of an arm like he should have been a baseball player, a pitcher?
Oh, I'm sure. But anyway, the sound of the explosion is enough to fool Ma Parker into thinking Batman is dead.
To be fair, they were expecting to hear an explosion.
Yeah,
Dead, so
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's fine. Um, so yeah, we get a reminder that Ma Parker's in charge. And she makes a fun little pun where she says the pen is mightier than the sword.
Yeah, I wrote that down because I like that.
Yeah, the pen meeting, the penitentiary.
Yeah.
I just thought that was so fun. I really like Ma Parker. God,
Yeah, she's very entertaining.
yeah, it's a real shame she doesn't come back. Uh, Batman and Robin, they're like, okay, something's up. I don't feel good about like any of this.
Yeah.
It
I think
was
they're thinking back
all,
on like how easy it was to capture them, and then
yeah,
like someone at the works at the prison tried to blow up their car. Like something's weird.
yeah. So they head back to the penitentiary.
Oh yeah, before that, Ma's like, "Well, I want to redecorate your like this office because this is their place now."
Oh yeah,
Because that becomes one of the clues when Batman's like, "Why is this different now?"
yes. So yeah, Batman comes back and he's like, hey, I just wanted to like check on everything. And yeah, he notices the office is rearranged. And then he like asks to check in on the Parkers, and they're each in their own individual cells, but all in the same cell block.
And like, so their walls between cells are just cell bars, so there's like no privacy at all.
Yeah,
But
I
this
didn't.
is like, what happens when they gotta poop?
Yeah, I mean that's prison for you, I guess.
And they all their cells are labeled like they're zoo animals.
Yeah, which I mean goes fits in with
Yeah,
this world.
it does. I just noticed it and I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah,
And
we yeah, Ma Parker I think is knitting, which is her normal deal. We got a machine gun. He made a joke last episode. I don't think we talked about it,
now
but
we
he made
did.
a joke like he was stealing a violin because Ma wanted him to take violin lessons.
Yeah. Well, he's there playing now.
Yeah, yeah.
Guess that
Um,
wasn't evidence.
well, back then I think Batman he said something like, "Oh, you'll have plenty time to practice in prison."
Yeah.
Uh,
And Warden Crichton's a pretty progressive rehabilitation type guy, so he probably has music stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which like fits in. He says the family that dorms together reforms together. And I'm like, oh, that kind of fits in with his whole philosophy,
Yeah,
actually.
so you would have had this set up that, yeah. Like you would like I think the assumption you're supposed to make is like since Ma's in charge, she wants to have her kids with her, but I
No, of course.
yeah, but I
But
think
I
that
think that's a believable enough line
yeah, exactly. That
that
Batman
like
wouldn't be
Batman might buy
suspicious.
it.
Yeah.
One other tidbit I really liked is Legs is reading Crime magazine instead of Time
I
magazine.
didn't even notice that. That's pretty great.
It was really cool.
The fact that there would even be a publication
Yeah.
is great.
Also, Batman and Robin, they don't seem totally convinced, but they leave,
Yeah.
because there's nothing to like, there's no evidence to the contrary that everything's
Yeah,
fine.
they just got a vibe.
Yeah. So they leave and they go out of their way to be like, oh, the cell doors don't open by hand. You have to do it electronically.
Yeah, there's like a switch they have to like throw.
Yeah. So we get this cool scene where like Ma Parker is in the courtyard with like a huge gathering of criminals, and she's like
Yeah,
rallying them all.
I was really stoked because we get like I said last time, I wasn't really expecting any like supervillain cameos or anything.
Your imagination goes crazy, and you're like, oh, whoa, like who's
Yeah.
gonna show up?
But like yeah, Catwoman's one of the people that's there and Julie Newmar and everything. I was
Yeah,
really excited because then she also was like, "Why isn't Joker or Penguin here?" They're like, "Well, they don't like they basically didn't bend the knee to Ma Parker, so they're in solitary confinement."
yeah. I thought it was a pretty cool like tie-in because like
Yeah,
I'm sure they just got whoever was like near the
um,
studio at the time to appear.
whoever could do it.
Yeah, but like this was like a fun little appearance.
And I thought about it. I was like, did they ever like arrest the Riddler so far in the series? I think he just always gets away, doesn't he?
Um, I truly forget.
Yeah,
Has he appeared this season yet?
I don't think so.
So I guess like if we're going in release order, his last appearance would be the movie, which he
Yeah,
was captured.
okay. But yeah,
Um,
it's still exciting.
yeah. The plan here, which I also really like,
Yeah.
to kind of like they'll operate from the prison, but like they'll also let Batman uh build their ranks back up.
Yeah, they still want them arresting criminals and things, so they basically get like the cream of the crop, like criminal wise here, and they can join their gang. So it's still sort of operating as a like for all intents and purposes, it's going to operate as the prison. I mean, they've got Crichton, cat like hostage essentially.
Yeah, I just think this is such a fun plan.
Yeah, like the prison is their hideout because they're like, well, no one would ever look for us here.
Yeah. Well, like they're expected to be there and they are there.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, and if they, as long as when there's inspections or whatever, as long as they like look like they're still in prison, like they just did with Batman and Robin,
Yeah.
then fine.
So Batman, he still has this feeling like this all was too easy. So we cut to what I assume is sometime later,
Yeah.
and Ma Parker and the gang climb out of a sewer, maybe?
It was like a trap door in the sidewalk.
Yeah.
It was very strange
Yeah, maybe
that
it's
it
like a
exists.
subway entrance, like a maintenance hatch or
I
something.
have no idea what it was supposed to be in like in logic, but
Yeah. It very much is like a trapdoor on a set.
yeah.
So they pop out and they're like disguising their identity, which just means they're wearing extra layers of clothes and like sunglasses.
Yeah. They're like there's like a they're at the bank, an armored car rolled up because they're about to like deposit or transfer money or something.
Yeah. So they rob the armored car. We get another shootout.
Yeah, between cops and the criminals.
Yeah.
And
And
they're but this time they're much closer to each other with much less cover.
but
And
they
no one
still make the claim like, oh God, these guys are such a bad shot. They haven't even hit the truck yet.
yeah, well because the guards are like, well, I think they also mentioned that they're like just as bad shots as we are.
Yeah,
I'm glad they said something.
it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
So the Parkers eventually like get the upper hand and they get all this money and just kind of like start throwing it in the air when Batman and Robin arrive, and this
Yeah.
like creates a crowd like of people trying to get money.
Yeah. So Batman and Robin are slowed down because they have to get through this crowd. With
Yeah.
the Batman has really bad ADR.
Um, so yeah, they're able to get back down into like the sewers or the subway, wherever the heck they're going. But as the door closes, one of the Parker's sleeves gets caught in it and tears.
Yeah.
And Batman picks it up and he realizes pretty quickly that it is the sleeve from a prison uniform.
Yeah. He used like the spectral analysis computer or whatever. And they figure it out that way.
Yeah. So he gives Warden Crichton a call, and I guess he was keeping it a secret for Batman and Robin's safety before, because here he like quickly spills the
Well,
beans.
I think the two guards that were with him, like, I think we're just gonna kill him before, and then probably also they would get the jump on Batman and Robin then too.
Uh,
But Ma's on the other light is also on the phone just to make sure she can hear what he's saying. But like, yeah, he basically is like, they've taken over the prison, blah blah blah. Come save, and that's when they like gag him,
yeah.
which good for him, because they probably would have just shot him then.
Yeah. So Batman and Robin race back to the prison and they climb the wall. Sort
Yeah,
of like back climb for the story. Once they get to the top, the sentry guard,
yeah,
is revealed to have been like a
he's one of the replaced guys.
yeah. Well, I don't know if he was one of the original replaced guys, but I think like because like they make reference to like his term, so he must have already been a prisoner there.
Oh yeah, so I'm saying like yeah, they obviously like he was a criminal that replaced a guard.
Yeah,
Yeah, is my point. But Batman remembers who he is and talks to him. He's like, "You're gonna throw away your 48 more years and you'd be free anyway. I'm like, that's a long fucking time.
Yeah, so I think that was like maybe a little bit of a commentary.
Yeah. Because, yeah, when Batman's like, basically, like, yeah, you're throwing away your chance to parole or whatever. He's like, you know what, you're right. 48 more years and lets Batman go.
Yeah, I don't know the producer's intent with that scene, but I liked it a lot.
Yeah, it was cute. So Batman and Robin get down the other side. They mentioned they're gonna like try to sneak across the yard. I'm like, how are you guys gonna like be incognito in your bat costumes and stuff? Like, you probably put almost everyone in here.
Yeah. Well, they're quickly caught.
Yeah, because that plan obviously wouldn't work.
So, yeah, they're captured by the criminals and they're both placed in electric chairs.
Yeah, they're basically like, yeah, we gotta get him a nice seat. And then I was like, oh yeah, it's gonna be electric chair. I'm like, yep.
I feel like this isn't the first time they've been placed in electric chairs, right? Didn't King Tut put them in electric chairs in his first appearance?
I don't remember. You
Anyway,
know, it's just another way of them being like tied up to something that's about to kill them.
yeah. Um, so yeah, they're like, all right, we're gonna wait till midnight and then we're gonna fry ya.
So I was like, are they waiting to midnight because they're gonna have like in case the governor calls? And then they mentioned like, oh, because at midnight, most of the city's gonna be asleep. They're not gonna notice the power surge coming here. I'm like, okay, that makes some level of sense.
Well, so are electric chairs that intense that you just like if you're at home and you like see
So,
that the lights dim, that like it's like, oh, someone just got
well,
state just
I
killed
I
somebody.
got to imagine that like executions are very very on the books, and like there probably is a way that you can see if someone were to look like, oh, that was used. Why there wasn't supposed to be anything.
Well, I mean, if that was the case, it wouldn't matter if it was midnight or not.
I don't know. I just was like, that's plausible enough for this world.
Yeah, I mean, that's just kind of like morbid to think about.
Yeah. But like, they look at a clock and I think it's only like 15 minutes till midnight or something, right?
Yeah.
So it's not a lot of time anyway.
So, yeah, Ma and the boys, like, they have something else to do. So uh Legs is charged with guarding Batman and Robin.
Because even she can't screw that up.
Yeah. Oh, but Legs is kind of dumb. And I actually appreciate this
And I,
because
and I appreciate that both she and her mother are just bad guys.
yes.
Yeah.
And like Batman isn't like, oh, I'm going to appeal to the womanly nature of
Yeah.
Legs and like get her to like fall in love with me and
See, and yeah, neither of them are in love with Batman or Robin.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, he just like kind of tricks her. Like she's like, "Hey, like you were left to like watch us. Like there's no way that we could possibly escape this. Like don't you think like they're doing something they don't want you to know about?"
Yeah. Yeah. He basically plays mind games whether to get her to leave.
Yeah, and yeah, she leaves. She takes the bait.
Yeah.
All right, so this next part's a little crazy.
It's great.
Batman like he breaks the copper wire that's like part of this whole electric chair setup and jams it into the shortwave radio in his utility belt.
Mm-hmm. He's sending a message to the Batcave in like Morse code.
Yes. And it's like beeping in his study and Aunt Harriet's like, what is that?
Yeah.
And Alfred's like, oh, he's having a TV installed and there's like electrical
There
problems or something.
it was some gobbledygook, but I was like, why is Aunt Harriet at least like up at almost midnight and
True.
downstairs? I could see Alfred being like, well, he knows that they're on like a case and he's maybe need to be around to get a message, which he does.
Yeah. But yeah, what is Aunt Harriet doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's her deal? Does she like she seems to have like her own life, but
Which is cool.
yeah. Um, so Alfred starts transcribing the message. Meanwhile, back at the penitentiary, the Parkers come back in, and I'm a little surprised that we don't get any like Like they just come back, like there's no like commentary, like, oh, legs, you were supposed to be watching them.
Yeah, I didn't really notice. It's just like they came back because it was time to execute them. So maybe that conversation happened in the hallway
Yeah.
because
I
they
don't
were still there. It's not like she fucked up. I mean, we know she did, but they don't know she did.
That's true. That's true. So anyway, they go to flip the switch,
Hmm.
and instead of the electric chair turning on, all the power in the penitentiary goes out.
Yeah. And then this is like the coolest thing I think they like Batman's done on the show.
It's a
'Cause they can't,
very Batman thing.
yeah, it's so awesome because the Parkers are like, oh, it's too dark, we can't see anything. Anyone got a match? And then Batman's just right next to them and lights a match. It's like, I've got one for you, and then starts like the fight.
Yeah,
But they have the Batman and Robin have these like bat glasses on that lets them see in the dark. I don't know. I just thought it was awesome.
it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
but yeah,
we get a fight. Nothing particularly
their fight
exciting about
earlier
these
was like
fights.
more interesting, but this the interesting stuff in this was the setup.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, the fight's over and the power comes back on.
Hmm. Yeah, it's revealed that Batman's message was to get the power company to shut off the power to the state pen at midnight.
Yeah, and I just need to say, I know we love Alfred on this podcast, but
Yes.
he just to be able to like transcribe that, like that doesn't seem like an easy message.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah,
And like
Batman is like pretty smart for sending it, but like I feel like Alfred doesn't get enough credit for,
Alfred's got to be like at least mentally just as capable as Batman is in this series.
yeah.
And like he's been Batman in one or two episodes.
Yeah, that's true.
These guys when
He's
like both
cool.
he and Bruce Wayne need to be at the same place.
Yeah, I love how silly that is.
Yeah, oh, it's great. But yeah,
Nice.
so he defeats the gang. He outsmarted Ma because like she was going to use one of the she was playing like innocent old lady again, and he pulled like because he used that smoke bomb. She pulled it out of like her bun and her hair, but like Batman like revealed that he took it out during the fight in the gang.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Now they're captured for real.
Yeah, and the when the power came back or when the power turned off, all the cells automatically lock.
Yeah,
So I guess all the bad guys are just hanging out in their cells.
I mean that's probably where they sleep still.
Yeah, but you think bad guys have a bedtime, Scott?
They're adults, man. I'm tired at like 10 o'clock. Like physically, I just can't stay up much later than that anymore.
Anyway, yeah, whatever. You're also not a hardened criminal. You're
I guess you
soft.
got me there.
Yeah, well, the day is saved. Um, we go back to the warden's office. Batman and Robin, Commissioner Gordon and Warden Crichton are all there. Maybe O'Hara, I forget.
Yeah.
If so, he's not important.
Yeah, it
Um,
doesn't say or do anything of consequence here.
yeah, and Warden confirms everything's back to normal. And then they get a special delivery from Ma Parker.
Yeah.
And Warden Crichton and Commissioner Gordon are a little like shocked by it, and they're like nervous to open it.
Yeah. I mean, why wouldn't you be? Because it's
Well,
revealed that it was ordered via the phone in his office.
yeah. And Batman's like, "Oh, well, this is from the kids for Ma Parker. I don't think we have anything to worry about." And he opens it up, and it's a bunch of roses or
Yeah,
something.
first he looks at the card and then he's like, all right, yeah, this isn't anything to worry about. But that's revealed because today was Mother's Day.
Yeah, how about that?
He just got her some roses. That's actually kind of sweet.
I like these guys a lot.
Yeah, I'm really disappointed knowing they're not going to come back. But to
Yeah.
be fair, I don't know what like scheme I would want to see them do. Because this one
I
was
mean,
pretty cool.
this one is pretty cool. Who knows? I mean, it would be, I mean, there's so much you can do with like the family dynamic. You can have like, maybe Mount Parker's sick and, the kids are all like trying to prove who would run the gang in her absence.
Or
So,
maybe Pa Parker comes back into the picture.
oh, yeah, there's so much you could do.
Yeah.
I love these guys so much. And
Yeah,
I love these episodes.
this was one of them, like I really liked this one. This one was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And it moved at like a really brisk pace too. Like
Yeah.
it was good. What do you rate the plan here?
Oh, I think it's a perfect plan.
I think it's a three. I think the only reason they got caught is they accidentally like left a shred of clothing behind.
Yeah.
I do think eventually it would have gotten found out because like they would have eventually probably done more crimes with like the people in the prison, and Batman would be like, "Well, why the hell is Catwoman running around?" And then they would go like more investigatory into the prison. But
Yeah. But
I think they could have really like had the run of the show for a while.
yeah, and I mean, like, who knows? By that time, maybe like that would have been more fortified.
Yeah, and that would yeah, it could have been a real problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
So
give her a three.
yeah, yeah. Do you got that open?
No, but we'll get it up in a sec. I'll get it in a sec.
Cool. All right. Yeah. Ma Parker. Well, we'll put a here. I got Ma Parker.
You got it. All right.
Wow, looking at this list, Archer had a one, everyone else has had a three.
This season,
Yeah,
that's kind of funny.
that is crazy. Um, hmm, interesting. But this one was really good. I'm a big fan of it.
Yeah, I really dug it.
All right. Well, anything else in the Parkers or
No, I'm just I'm looking forward to next week. It's a classic Batman villain that we haven't seen yet.
yeah, I'm excited to well, we'll talk about it. But
Yeah.
I'm excited for this guy. All right. Well, till then, catch you here next time. Or same Batcast time, same Batcast.